Good day, and thank you for coming to Simply Jubilee. Today we're going to talk a little bit about raising chicks indoors, especially for you first timers. So there are a couple of essential items that you have to have if you're raising chicks indoors. The first is a container large enough to store them. So this is just a large plastic Rubbermaid bin. I've seen a lot of success with kiddie pools as well, especially as they start to get larger. So it really just depends on what you have access to and how much you're willing to spend. The other two things you're going to need is you're going to need a feeder setup and a waterer setup. Now with the feeders, if you go to any of your feed stores or animal supply stores, you're going to see options like this where they have, it's circular. Any container, this is actually an old Parmesan cheese container, will screw right in, provided it's the size of a quart at the entrance. And you can get the feeders, they cost about $3. They also sell the trough style feeders. These I've had a lot more success with because the trough style feeders, it's much easier for the chickens to roost on top of it and then they poop in the food. It's harder for them to do that here. The other thing I've also done is I've put something under it right here. This elevates it just a little bit and it prevents the food from becoming as contaminated as it might if you didn't do this. In the past, I put it directly down on the pine pellets and it gets full really quickly. So this just helps to keep it cleaner. Same thing with the water, the container bottom. It's just circular, it's a quart size screw on. So I've used another Parmesan cheese container and this is on a brick as well. The water, it's much more likely to get filled with debris, so elevating it a little bit just slows that down. You're still going to get debris no matter what you use, but lifting it up makes it a little bit easier on you. The next thing that you're going to need, of course, is something on the bottom of the container. I've seen some people like to use newspapers. I don't recommend newspapers. They get very slick and it can cause problems with the chick's feet and their leg development. I recommend these pine flakes. I get them from Tractor Supply. It costs about $5 for a giant container that will last you a really long time. It helps reduce the smell. It keeps the poop kind of all collected nice and simply, and it just makes your job a lot easier. And it's really the best thing for the chicks. It's comfortable for them. It allows them to move around without having any issues. And all in all, it's just been the best option that I've personally found. Now it's up to you whether you add anything else into your container with them. Some people like to add little toys. When they're this small, I don't generally add a whole lot else. The other really big thing you're gonna need is you're gonna need some kind of heat source. So we use a heating lamp. You're gonna have one of these giant red bulbs. Mine's off at the moment, but that's gonna be on pretty much 24 hours a day. And I'll turn it on just for a moment. Makes everything kind of crazy looking. But you don't want to have it too close. You can usually gauge how much heat it's giving off. If you put your hand right under it, it's really hot. If you put your hand down here, you can tell it's not nearly as warm, but it's warmer than it is anywhere else. When they're really small, they need high temperatures, so you want to keep it around 90 degrees. And then each week you can kind of ease off and lift your lamp up higher and higher until they're fully feathered and you can get rid of the lamp completely. In terms of what to feed your chicks, you just want to get a chick starter feed. I've had good luck with Doomer. It has 20% protein, which is essential because as your chicks develop, they need more protein than you'd give a laying or an adult chicken. And it's just crumbled. You want to make sure it's crumbled and not full pellets. Pellets are too large for them to eat. For their substrate, again, you just want to go with some type of shavings. I like the pine shavings I can find at Tractor Supply. You can find something similar at most major stores and animal providers. It has 8 cubic feet in it. It lasts a really long time. Like it says, it's absorbent and it's soft, so it works really well with young chicks and helping prevent a big mess and a horrible smell. That's all I have for you today. Check back in to see how the chicks are developing. Good day.